Why so down, son?
Well, I've been stuck on this same wimpy 49-17 gear ratio for the past few years now. At this rate, I'll never ride a manly 53-11 gear ratio and impress all those tattooed Fixie girls at the locally grown organic coffee co-op.
Well, fear not, because I'm here with this handy-dandy instructional video to show you a foolproof way to increase your fixed gear ratio without destroying your knees.
Wow. Really?
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 Really.
But what about the message from this video's sponsor?
Oh, you're absolutely right. This video of how to get meaty bike thighs was brought to you by this video's sponsor, Wabi Cycles. Every one of Wabi's design choices are meticulously made to give the purest ride quality for the money. Wabi executes those choices perfectly, handmade by master craftsmen in Taiwan and a friendly bike shop in Denver, Colorado that is eager to answer your questions and get you on a bike you'll love. Wabi's relentless attention to detail results in my 58cm Wabi Special, weighing in at 17.5 pounds or 7.97 kilograms straight out of the box. That attention to detail results in the best riding experience I've ever had, with a snappy and lively ride quality that only top-tier steel can bring. If you're looking for the bike that puts the end to your search for the perfect bike, do consider checking out Wabi Cycles, linked at the top of the description, as it really is the closest thing that I've ridden to the perfect bike. Lesson 1. Visualizing success. Like anything in life, you can achieve your goals as long as you think outside the box and put your mind to it. So, why do you want to ride a bigger gear ratio in the first place?
Truth be told, whenever I go on group rides, everyone always asks me what gear ratio I ride, and it's a bit embarrassing to tell them that I usually ride a 49-17 for mixed terrain, 49-19 if I'm going up a hill. Sometimes they just laugh at me and say, "Ha! That's cute, you twig-legged wuss. Try riding a real man's ratio. I ride 53-11, brakeless, and I climb and bomb the steepest hills this side of the Mississippi with that ratio. By golly, those bullies sure do get my blood boiling with their big and tough 4.8 gear ratios. Really makes my 2.8 ratio look really quite lame. I want to show them that I can push a big gear ratio too, and impress those tattooed Fixie girls."
Well, those are dumb reasons.
Geez, you didn't have to be so mean about it.
Pushing the envelope on your gear ratio has practical benefits. It means you can go faster at the same cadence, have a higher top speed for sprints, keep up in group rides more easily, ride against headwinds more effectively, climb steeper hills more confidently, and bomb hills like you're making a sick edit. And it even keeps your legs more muscular for your thirsty followers on Instagram. All that means increasing your ratio can help you to explore more places and ride faster, which will hopefully help you to enjoy riding your bike more in a synergistic fashion.
Oh, I get it. Can I ride 53-11 now?
Whoa now, put the front brake on, because we still need to learn about Lesson 2, how to destroy your knees. Leveraging our assets and learning what not to do, and how most fixie-foos end up destroying their knees and their love for cycling through improper leg training, is just as important as learning how to correctly increase your gear ratio for a paradigm shift.
Well, last time I tried increasing my gear ratio, I was climbing super steep hills every day and squatting more than twice my body weight without even knowing how to squat, and I ended up hurting my knee pretty badly, and the doctor told me that I had to stay off the bike and out of the gym for 2 months. And in hindsight, it was pretty dumb, but I was just trying to get those gains and impress those Fixie girls.
To be fair, if you're young, you can do dumb things like that and still recover relatively easily and quickly. But once you get older, you may do permanent damage that puts you off the bike for good. Or even if you're a young and dumb Fixie foo that does something really dumb, like jumping to an insanely high gear ratio or climbing much steeper hills than you're used to straight away, you can still destroy your knees for good, losing all your short-term gains and more in the process. With that in mind, remember to protect your knees. Never excessively exercise yourself.
Oh, okay. Can I ride 5311 now?
Lesson 3. How to increase your gear ratio safely. For our strategic initiative, your baseline gear ratio will be the ones you can pedal comfortably on flat terrain at a cadence between 70 and 80 RPM. Riders with meatier quads will be more comfortable pedaling at the lower end of this range, while leaner riders will be more comfortable pedaling at the upper range. If you want to build muscle mass and make horses and cyclists alike quiver in fear at the sight of your bulging, powerful thighs, you can aim for a gear ratio that puts you at around 70 RPM on flat terrain. And if you want to slim down and have pants that actually fit your quads, aim for around 80 RPM. If you're pedaling significantly lower than 70, say at 60 RPM or less, that means your gear ratio is too damn high since you're pushing too hard on the gear you have for your strength. But if you're one of those Fixie foos pedaling 5311 at 35 RPM, trying to justify it by saying, "But it's comfortable for me," you're straight up lying to yourself. Once you find yourself pedaling at an RPM that's a bit too fast for your liking, then you can increase your gear ratio by swapping to a cog that's one tooth smaller. Daily riding and regular easy to moderate hill climbs will help you to build strength and add value to your gear ratio.
Alright, but how do I count my RPM?
RPM stands for rotations per minute. All you have to do is remember this simple acronym, CYPSFAMYD. Count your pedal strokes for a minute, ya dingus.
I think I'm getting it. So if I just remember to CYPSFAMYD, that'll give me my RPM.
Now you're getting it.
And that's great and all, and I really appreciate your advice, but that's exactly how I've been riding ever since I got injured. At best, I can only drop my cog size once every year.
To go the extra mile and gain strength on a consistent basis, use PST, Progressive Strength Training. Progressive strength training through calisthenic workouts are a safer alternative and just as effective as pushing external weights. Since you're only working with your own body weight, you'll be working out at a rate that drives change and works synergistically with your DNA, making it much less likely that you'll push yourself too hard and get injured. The book Convict Conditioning is a great entry strategy to getting ripped with calisthenics. You'll need to be action-oriented and be able to perform 10 progressively more difficult exercises with perfect form. Step 1 is the shoulder stand squat. Fully extend your legs, then slowly touch your knees to your forehead. It sure looks dumb, but a knee brace looks even dumber. Step 2 are jackknife squats, where you bend your weight over your hands and squat. Step 3 are supported squats, where you hold onto an object higher than your thighs and squat down. Step 4 are half squats, where you squat 90 degrees, feet shoulder distance apart. Step 5 are the full squat, the ones that you probably did in gym class. Step 6 are close squats with your heels together. Step 7 is where it gets real. These are uneven squats, where one leg rests on an object to really work out each leg. Step 8 are half one leg squats, which hell, I can barely even do. Step 9 are assisted one leg squats with an object to help with balance. And finally, Step 10 is the manliest squat of all, the full one leg squat that'll really get you pushing a big gear ratio without getting injured. The drawback of not getting injured is that it takes time to progress, and ain't nobody got time to have time. According to a 2019 study conducted by the University of Princeton, the human body is not a machine, and it indeed needs time to rest and strengthen muscles, tendons, and joints. And that time will always be longer than you want it to be. Don't push yourself too hard. Let your body grow and only do these exercises in addition to daily cycling, at most twice per week. If you can progress from one step to the next with perfect form once every 3 months, that's already a good progression rate. That roughly translates to being able to safely increase your cog size at best every 6 months, and more realistically, once per year to once every 2 years. Even then, you're going to hit a plateau of strength. The human body, unfortunately, has limits. Even if you do train your legs for 10 years, there's no way that you're going to be pedaling 5311 at a conversational pace at an efficient 70 RPM at nearly 35 miles an hour. That's just asinine. And no, I'm not scoring your results after you just did one leg squats.
I give it at least an 8.
So, champ, how'd increasing your gear ratio go?
Well, I ride a little faster now. Hills are a little easier, and my pants fit tighter now. You know, I learned something trying to get a big gear ratio. It turns out your enjoyment of riding your bike is way more important than bragging to others at the group ride that you have a bigger gear ratio than them. Because group rides aren't a dick measuring contest. I wish I knew that sooner. And if I want to date a tattooed Fixie girl, I shouldn't be working on my legs to try to impress her, but I should be working on my character to try to impress me. You know, gaining teeth on a chainring, it really doesn't matter. It looks like the real gains were the friends we made along the way.